What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl, Crissy Mac, and I'm back with another video. Today, I want to talk about the lessons that I've learned since losing my kidney. So if you guys know anyone that can benefit from these types of videos, please go ahead and share with them. And if you're new to my channel, what's up? Take a moment to hit that subscribe button to be notified when I post my next kidney video. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So let's start off and talk about how I discovered that my kidneys were failing, because some of you may be new to my channel and don't know my backstory. So I was battling lupus and I was also pregnant with my last son. As you hear, last son, because I don't plan on having any more children, especially after what I just been through. And so the doctor sent me to a nephrologist and they said, yeah, your numbers are starting to look a little off. Something's not right. So I was just thinking, maybe something with my pregnancy. But the lupus was also attacking the kidneys, and there's just so much going on that at that particular time, because I had a little one inside of me, I didn't want to take anything. I was so afraid that something was going to happen to him. And I just was trying to be as safe as possible. To be honest, I was putting him, my unborn son at that time, above my own health, because I'm like, listen, if something is going to happen, I need you guys to save him, because that's my child, my baby. And so after I had him, I was breastfeeding at that time, and I think I breastfed for maybe, I don't even know if I made it to, I don't know if I made it to the full 3 months, but I had to stop. I said, I can't go anymore. I was so weak. I was so fragile. I was getting to be so small and skinny, and it just wasn't working out. And so I said, you know what? I am done with this breastfeeding. I'm not doing this anymore. So I went and saw the doctor, and they're like, ma'am, you're not getting any better. I'm like, man, I think I can do this. I can figure out how to do this naturally, or whatever it may be. And I was traveling. And so I went to visit my family and in the islands, and they're looking at me like, wow, what's wrong with you? And so I was like, I don't know. I'm just not feeling good, not knowing what kidney failure can do to you, how it can make you feel or look. Because again, this is my first time. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. And so, I just said, well, maybe I'm just not feeling good. So, I would try to take little things that they give me. And, they're like, drink up a lot of water, not knowing, guys, that my kidneys were damn near shot, and drinking so much water was basically like suffocating me. And I was in a bad space. So I said, you guys, once I leave the islands, I'm coming back home to the States, and I'm going to see a doctor. And that particular time, my husband's like, I'm like, babe, I can't breathe. I take 2 steps to get to the bathroom. I can't breathe. My chest is tight. I had to sleep sitting up. It just wasn't a good place for me. And so at that time, to hear, hey, you got to go on dialysis. Your kidneys are shot. You're not in a good place. Emotionally, I was distraught. I didn't know how to feel. I was numb to the situation, because I'm like, wow, I'm already dealing with the lupus, now kidney failure. And I really didn't understand the magnitude of it, but I just know emotionally, I was completely checked out. It was just really, really hard for me. And being on dialysis, there was so many dietary changes that I had to learn about. I couldn't eat this. I couldn't drink this much. I couldn't do anything. It was just no salts, no anything, because your pressure is going to go up. And it was just out of control. I had to learn so much in a short amount of time, because from the time me going into the hospital, I got an emergency, as you guys see. I got an emergency catheter, and it was like, boom, now you need to learn all of this stuff right away. So it was a complete change in my life. I had to change my diet, and not only me, but for my family as well, because I'm not cooking, something for them, something for me. That's just already too much. And my husband did a lot. I just thank God for him every single day, because, I realized a lesson that I really learned is that you need support going through this. And there's a lot of people that are out here that don't have anybody at all. Literally nobody to help them through this. And I realized how important it is to have people and loved ones that call you, that check up on you, that bring you something to eat on those days that, you might have dialysis and you can't function. So I had to learn a lot when it came to the dietary and just dealing with my emotions, because my emotions were up and down. One minute I'm happy, one minute I'm sad, because sometimes you're going, and you don't really take the time to sit down and think about what you're actually going through. Like, you're on dialysis. You're fighting for your life. Because if you don't do dialysis, you're gonna die. Like, that is just emotionally traumatizing to anyone. And it was just a lot for me. So my daily routines had to drastically change, just because it was just something new. Like I said, these are lessons that I have learned over that time being on dialysis and just dealing with kidney failure. But my whole lifestyle had to change. I had to learn to rest. The biggest thing is I had to learn to say no. And I'm the type of person, if anybody knows me, I always say yes to everybody. Hey, can you do this? Yes. Can you? Yes, yes, yes. Mommy, wife, child, yes. I'm always giving. And I had to say no. And it was weird in the beginning, telling people no. I mean, I got good at it now, but I had to learn to put myself first, because if I'm not here, none of this matters, So that was a big lesson as well. It's just learning to say no and just listening to how I felt. So make sure you're listening to how you feel. And if you don't want to do something, say no. Another lesson that I learned is you're not in this alone, in the fact of there's other people out there that are battling just like you and I was. And you have to find those groups. And I kind of wish I would have found them a little bit earlier, but I guess I wasn't aware. I didn't have anyone like talking to me in the way that I'm talking to you guys. And so get on Facebook. There's so many. When I say so many, there's so many kidney support groups, dialysis, whatever you're going through, whatever illness, lupus, and even post-kidney transplant, there is a group out there for you. Yes, I'm here to support and guide you guys, but you have to find a community. You have to find other like-minded people that are going through your similar situation so you can talk to, because your family and your friends are not going to understand what you're going through. Did you hear what I said? Your family and friends are not at all going to understand. They can sympathize all they want, but they don't know what it feels like to have 2 big needles go in them, cry at a center, being cold, shivering, and watching your blood next to you filter through a machine for hours at a time. And when you say you're tired, they don't get it because they didn't go through that. So don't expect other people to understand exactly what you're going through. Another thing that I learned is that your body's gonna change and you have to be okay with that body image. Some of us, were a little bit thicker maybe before and you lost so much weight. Or some was small and then gained a lot of weight while on dialysis. There are no 2 stories that are the same. Everybody's completely different. That's why you hear people that are trying to get a transplant, hey, you need to lose weight. My situation, you need to gain weight. So everybody's completely different, but you do need to learn that your body will change. You're not gonna look maybe as vibrant as you used to be. Your hair may not grow as long. You may experience some hair loss, things of that nature, but just give yourself grace. Give yourself a chance and just know that you're gonna be okay, but just know that your body is going to change throughout this process. But you're also gonna experience things of disfigured. Your arms are gonna be disfigured. Now you guys can look at my arm and say, wow, I can't even tell that this girl was on dialysis because I had mine, tied off and reversed, and my doctor did a great job, right? You can't even tell, you can't see. But there are people out there which I was, that have the lumps and the bumps and they're growing and people are watching your arm wondering what's going on with you. So those are the things that I'm speaking about, that your body image is going to change. And for those of you that are on PD, you may get some infections in your stomach. I know someone personally that was dealing with that as well, where you may not feel comfortable putting on a bathing suit and going to the beach. So you just kind of have to adjust going through this period and just know that, those better days are going to come. Another lesson is maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So I know you can't do a lot of walking and a lot, some of you might be able to, but those of you that were like me, it might be challenging. So you have to do what's best for you. So take your time. If you need to stop and take a break, give yourself that. Right? These are so many lessons that I've learned is just because of what I've been through. But give yourself that. But stay active as much as possible. Even if you have to do some of my stretch videos, I even have stretch videos that are in your bed or in your work chair or whatever you're doing. Just take that time for yourself. But also get with a nutritionist. That was a big lesson that I had to learn because I didn't know how to eat properly. I was so used to eating what I used to eat and just coming, like I said, having this huge dietary change. Seek help. Ask for help. They provide you with a nutritionist. Sit down with your nutritionist. Figure out a plan that works best for your life. You know what you can eat because they give you like a grocery list. At least at the centers I had, they have a whole list. They tell you, okay, this is what you can't get. These are things that you could get. And try to learn to make meals and learn to meal prep. I think that will help save you a lot of time because on those days that you're going to dialysis, you're not going to want to cook. And if you don't have anyone around to support you in that manner, you're going to need to prep early, even if you take 1 day or 2 days because you're going to be tired and you prep, you order your groceries. Right? Nowadays, you don't have to go into the store. You can do the drive, even though it's not COVID time. I definitely do that. Like now you have the option to drive in, pop your trunk, and people bring your groceries to you. Or there are services that will bring your groceries to your front door for you. So that's an option. So plan your meals, prep it, put everything out, cook it, put them in containers, and put them and stack them in the fridge because you don't want to be bothered when it comes to trying to figure out what to eat, what you can't eat, and make sure you're watching your water intake because you don't want to be like me and start suffocating because you're drinking way too much. And when you get to dialysis, they're having to pull off extra fluid and it's just really, really tough on you. So another lesson that I learned is that you don't necessarily have to get a kidney from like a family member or something like that because sometimes you're not a match. So there are pair exchange programs that are out there. So for example, if my brother was not my match and he was a match for someone else, he can give that person his kidney and their person can give me a kidney and it just works out, right? So those are some things that I did learn later in the process, but it is an option. So you don't have to necessarily be a match, but there are other ways for you to get a kidney. And please, guys, if you haven't checked out my video on ways to find a kidney, head over there after this because if you're on dialysis, I don't want to see you guys suffering anymore. If you have to do some of the things that's in that video so you no longer have to be on dialysis, just do it, okay? Be an advocate for your own health. You know how you feel. You know what pain or suffering you're going through. No one else does. So do whatever you need to do. And I think I listed out quite a few things that you could take full advantage of. Another lesson that I've learned is how important it is to stay positive and have gratitude, right? That we're still alive. Yes, we're going through either PD or hemodialysis, but you're still here, and continue to have a positive outlook on things. And for me, what I did is I poured all myself into you guys when I was going through that, because mentally, that's the only thing that I could think of is why me, right? This is what I used to tell God, why me? Why do I have to go through this? And I had to find purpose. And my purpose, I said, you know what? Maybe I needed to go through this so I can better guide my kids, better guide you guys, like I'm not trying to say I wanted this, but I had to find peace with it. I had to know that if I stress, if I cry constantly, it wasn't going to do anything but raise my blood pressure and probably put me into the hospital, which is what I don't want. But I just learned that you have to find peace and just be grateful. Be grateful that somebody called you. Be grateful that you have a great team of doctors and, people to support you through this. Great, your dialysis nurse. Do something kind for them. Let them know how much you appreciate them. We used to always have, like food outings, buy them lunch, do something nice. Like, I know it's their job, but again, it's that part about being grateful for those that are caring for you and loving you each and every day. Another lesson is it's okay to be afraid, right? Because you don't know, it's of the unknown. So it's okay that you just don't know what to do. You have no plan right now. But after watching this, I want you guys to actually create a plan. Figure out your emergency contact. Figure out, what your next steps are. What do I need to do to get on the kidney transplant? These are things that I had to learn through my fear. I was walking in faith because I couldn't see the staircase. I couldn't see what was going to be my next step. I just know when the doctor said something, I took that step and I took that step and I took that step until I got here where I am today. So don't worry about being afraid. It's normal. I get it. But please make a plan for yourself. Don't just get up every morning, go to dialysis and just sit there. No, make a plan for yourself. Figure out something. If you want to write a book, do something. Tell your story. I tell you guys all the time, journal your thoughts. Look, so you have something to look back at when those good days do come around. So those were my lessons today. I just wanted to come on, share a few things that I've learned, while I lost my kidneys, going on dialysis. I just want to be that inspiration for you guys and guide you guys. And I hope that I'm doing a great job on my channel. I'm just letting you know what I've been through and what I'm learning. And if you can resonate with me in any of these topics that I'm talking about, or any of these lessons, I should say, that I'm talking about today, comment below and let me know which one is favorite. All right, guys, I love and I appreciate you, and I hope to see you guys on my next video. See you guys next time.